Because this trip was in the spring, we found many pretty wildflowers along the way. We also found some cattails in the creek, so we decided to experiment with them. But first we needed to make some digging sticks. Ideally, the point of the digging stick will be fire hardened, but we'll have to do that later by slowly roasting it over a fire. The cattail has many uses in edible parts. The inner part of the lower stem can be eaten like celery. The base of the plant and the long connecting root stems are also edible, but they are probably better peeled and cooked. Much of our trail was marked with ducks like this. And here's some beavertail cactus, which has edible fruits and leaves. The large cones of the gray pine have fairly large pine nuts, so we gathered a few and ate some, using the digging stick to crack open the shells. This is the local yucca. Like all yuccas, the flowers and fruits can be eaten, and the stems and roots used for soap. At the point where the trail left the creek, we took a major rest stop to fill up with water and decided to set up a shadow stick while we were there. We put the digging stick straight up and down in the ground and marked the tip of the shadow with another short stick. Then we just let the earth turn while we were resting and filling our water bottles, every once in a while marking the tip of the shadow as it moved. When we were ready to leave, we went back to look at the pattern of the marker sticks. Notice that they are roughly in a straight line and that the line has been moving from left to right. This gives us a basic east-west line, and crossways to it would be north and south. As we hiked on, we came to a place with a lot of wild onions, so we decided to stop and dig some.
Are you going to get as much as one really big one?
Although they weren't very big, they did have a good flavor. This is part of what we collected. We also found some Mariposa lilies which have an edible bulb, but we didn't dig any because there were so few of them. This is sagebrush. It has many uses. We're going to gather some of its outer bark to make a tinder bundle to use for starting our fire. When we got to the place where we were going to make camp, we shredded the sagebrush bark to make a tinder bundle. We also collected some small sticks. Then we placed a piece of charred cloth on a hard glassy rock and struck it with the steel striker to make sparks. When the charred cloth caught a spark, we placed it in the tinder bundle and blew it to flame. Then quickly added the small sticks. Now that we had our fire going, we could make supper. Rather than dig up all the edible roots in the area just to feed us, we brought in some potatoes to cook in their place. One of the simplest eating utensils is a pair of chopsticks carved on the spot. After we ate, we began getting our shelter together. Some of us gathered debris for bedding. We gathered and brought in many loads like this. Others cut some dead alder poles down by the river and cleaned them up for the frame of the shelter. We brought in 6 of these poles. We tied 3 poles together and raised them to make a tripod. Then we added 3 more poles and adjusted the spacing to match the width of our tarps. After tying up the tarps, we brought in the debris and spread it around for bedding, then brought in our fire and stretched out and went to sleep. Here's a better view of our finished shelter and campsite in the morning. For breakfast, we made ash cakes by mixing flour and water to make a stiff dough, patting it flat, and then cooking it on a bed of coals, or hot rock as we're experimenting with here, saving the extras for lunch. Then we took down our shelter, filled up with water, packed up, and hiked out.